Have you guys ever seen a paradox crested gecko? Well, in this video, I'm gonna show you guys my paradox project. So about 2 years ago, I hatched out 3 paradox crested geckos. One being this guy right here, Bingo. 2 more, another male and 1 female. Now the female is in here and she doesn't have as much paradoxing as this guy. He has the most out of the 3. It's such an oddball thing. Typically, I wouldn't think anything of it, but the fact that I hatched 3 of them makes me think it might be something there. That's why I'm pairing them back to each other to try to see if anything cool pops out. More paradoxing, any other cool, maybe there's a super form to this, and that's what we want to see. Paradox happen all the time. Most of the time, it's not something that could be replicatable. With certain animals like the bearded dragons, for example, you can replicate it. It's typically something that starts to show up at a young age and starts to develop more and more as they get older. But we have also seen paradox that just hatch the way they're gonna look forever. What a paradox is basically an anomaly. It's an anomaly. So something that's not supposed to look a certain way but hatches that way anyway. So this is Bingo. This is the main male that I have for this project. And the female, she actually has a little bit of the paradox on her tail, and it's very, very little, but I recognize that it is the same exact thing that he has. The paradox that she has is right here on the tip of her tail, and both of these animals come from no Dalmatian spots at all in their lineage. So that's why I know it's not Dalmatian spots, also because of the fact that it's only in one spot and then it's not scattered everywhere. And Dalmatian spots obviously have like they're round dots and they're very, very easy to distinguish. Paradox spots what I call them, very odd. And the fact that I produced 3 in 1 year is what made me really want to pursue this project and put them together. And by the end of this year, maybe we'll hatch something real cool. We already have 1 egg from this group. They're first time breeders, so typically, you know, they take a little bit longer, but we're excited to see what pops out. Now I want to show you the other paradox animals that we have. So this guy here is the 3rd gecko that I produced with that paradox spot. And oddly enough, this guy has a weird green hue when he's not fired up. But as you can see, the paradox spot is on this side and is not as big as that first male, but is definitely bigger than the female. And he's just, you know, basically a basic partial pinstripe harlequin. I didn't have a lady for him, obviously, so he hasn't been breeding. I did get my hands on another animal that was similar to this one that also has a paradox spot. What my line of thought is that, you know, down the line, if this does become something, I will have different lines to diversify the gene pool with and to mix the bloodlines. So I'm gonna show you that next animal that I actually got at a reptile show. And I also have another animal that came here on a loan that we will be working with as well that also has a paradox spot. Okay, so this boy here, I actually picked him up from Generation Exotics. He is another paradox animal. Now, as you can see, this is a yellow quad stripe crested gecko. It is a male, but it has that weird paradox spot right there. Unfortunately, this guy is in shed, so that's why it's kind of like milky. It's just it was really cool. I was just walking around at a reptile show and I saw this guy on the table and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna pick him up just in case this is a genetic thing that I could replicate, just to have more diversity with my project. But this guy is actually probably one of my favorite ones as far as like pattern and color, just because he's so bright when he's fired up, and you guys know I love my quad stripes. So another addition to my paradox project. And now I'm going to show you the last girl that looks very, very similar to Bingo, and her name is Glitch. Okay, so this girl here, she's actually owned by my friends Gabby and Brett from the Gecko Menagerie. Let me grab her right here. She is really, really interesting. Oh, don't worry, I got you. This is Glitch, and she has a bunch of paradox spots going down her back. Just a very, very odd looking gecko. And of course, she also has Dalmatian spots, and you can see the clear difference between the glitch paradox spots and the Dalmatian spots. This paradoxine actually reminds me of Frazzle, owned by Tony's Geckos, which is just like a bunch of red speckling and black blotches all around the gecko. And it kind of reminds me of this, so I'm hoping that we could kind of reproduce that look. It's definitely a very, very cool and unique look, and maybe, who knows, we could get that covering half the gecko or even more, like 75% of the gecko. That would look like a reverse piebald or something, which would be really, really cool. This girl is here on loan, so we're still, you know, she's still being housed by herself, but in the next coming months, she's gonna be paired up with Bingo, and hopefully we'll start to get babies that have those paradox spots, and we can actually make a project out of it. Alright guys, so last week I showed you my secret piebald project. This week I'm showing you guys my paradox project. This is Bingo and this is Glitch, and hopefully we could produce some really cool geckos. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think it's something that we will be able to reproduce, or is it just, you know, random paradoxes that happen from time to time? I'm excited to find out. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys on the next one.